Now I can see everybody. Okay, good.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Be the Media Huntington. Long time no see. Tonight is September 12th, Wednesday, and we're happy to be back. And we are really happy that we got so many messages over the summer that apparently you guys missed us. So we are back for season 3. And I'm Jenny Lee. And tonight I have with me Miss Dana
Hi, guys.
and Miss Lisa.
Hi, everyone.
And we're really excited to be back.
We are definitely.
Oh, so what's the latest and the greatest?
Let's talk about that weather. I know that's on everybody's mind.
Ooh.
I'm nervous.
Hurricane Florence, right?
Yeah.
I know it's not supposed to hit us per se, but we are definitely getting some of the residual bands because of the motion that it's going in. And typically with the hurricanes, you get more of the waves and the way it pushes on the north and the east side of it. So we're definitely getting the surf. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah. And I don't like the quick downpours because places get so flooded so quickly out here. I mean, it's like in the blink of an eye, you everything is flooded. That scares me a little bit, especially when you're traveling with small children.
Yeah, like Northport.
Yes. Did you have the video on your page, or was it on? No, we put it out on Be the Media today, right? Or on
I shared it on Huntington View.
Yeah. All right.
That I found.
And there was a really great one that somebody else had posted on that thread.
I couldn't believe that was. I thought that when I saw that, I thought that was like in another country. I'm not gonna, because I was like, here. Oh my gosh.
It happened really, really fast. I
flooding,
but someone said
take
with like 10 minutes.
I'll take you there real quick, and we'll also show one of the ones that was posted by one of our fans.
Okay.
Well, I hope they're a fan. I know they're on our page.
They have to be a fan.
Or I don't know. Okay. Could go with it. So this is Northport Village. Over by the shipwreck.
Oh, my favorite place.
Yes, we were there. We went to lunch across the street.
And I go there every weekend with my mom now.
That's crazy.
Artie, who owns the pizzeria down there, he posted that, and I shared it for him.
This is Mary Jo Zach Haggerty posted this one.
Oh, boy.
Ooh, that's us. Look at the flow.
Wow. That's in Northport?
She didn't say where this one was.
That's crazy.
No, that looks like that one's not in Northport. I don't think they have meters over there. We have all the meters. We get all the meters.
I would say something, but it's our first show back. I'm going to behave.
Oh, come on. Why behave? Well, behave women rarely make history.
We don't have to behave.
So we are definitely going to be experiencing these weather patterns easily throughout the rest of the week. And so in the meantime, where do you want to go with this first? Primaries or Outback?
Either one is a nice, juicy topic, so I'm always ready for both.
All right. I know you've got all the skinny on.
You can have at it with Outback.
Well, you can have Outback, or we'll just group discuss.
No, I can't have Outback.
Okay. All right. So we know that Outback has been doing construction. In fact, I think we're not going to blame Lisa for this at all, because I kept driving by and then I brought you guys by and I said, there's something going on. There's a garage underneath Outback, because I'm always stalking the people across the street over there. So I think there's something going on. There's a garage down there that they haven't been using, and they've been doing construction under there this whole time, well before they rip down the wall. And when you see the rest of the wall come down, magically these stores are just going to appear.
That's true.
Mm-hmm. So, and there's rumors, though, it's a rumor. I'm going to state it's a rumor that there's going to be apartments above.
Oh, Lord, I hope not.
Mm-hmm.
That would be unfortunate.
Mm. I don't know if he still manages it, but the person who used to manage it, his name is Bob Fonte. He used to work for the town. Most people had to go through him for any type of development in the town, even though he didn't really hold an official title for that. That was always really odd. But that was a few years back. That was under Frank Patron. So I don't know if he's still the manager of that property or not. I know he was at one time. So it's just really strange that nobody heard anything until the walls started to crumble.
Speaking about development, it's another hot topic with Mr. Porter and Renaissance.
Oh, I didn't even write that one down. Good call, Lisa.
The missing 2-point-something million.
2.1 million dollars.
Just $2.1 million.
Yeah.
Let me go get that. Was over on Ed Smith, right?
Right.
Edward Smith.
Still, to this day, cannot understand how you embezzle $2.1 million
from your own family.
Not that I don't get it, but don't you think somebody's gonna miss $2.1 million? I mean, I would.
Well, what took so long? We're just hearing about it now. What took so long?
It's probably because it was family. They didn't want to, believe it was true. And then it probably started off small, and then the more they investigated, it probably spiraled out of control.
Well, Renaissance has been here for 10 years. And I've been saying this whole time, how have they been doing this with no funding? And we only just got one building not that long. I remember when they became the master developer for the town of Huntington.
Yes.
You want me to go to the article?
Yeah, I guess you can show people. I think most people have seen it, I'm sure.
Well, if they haven't seen it, they heard about it because there's a lot of chit chatter.
I guess I could read what Ed wrote. Ed Smith, our Huntington Town Council. Well, look what we have here. Renaissance Downtown is in the news. Your town government has already given 2 very valuable parcels of land on New York Avenue to Renaissance Downtowns. Your town government is getting ready to do it 2 more times. The first is for a hotel on the Long Island Railroad parking lot next to the First Aid Squat. Nobody wants this hotel. The second is for artist lofts, which, by the way, they've denied that they were going to do. Built on the parking lot across from the Yankee Peddler Antique Shop, which is now the Shops, I think. Again, who is asking for this? What is the definition of an artist anyways? Does a trapeze artist qualify for a loft? How about a con artist? I love that line. It appears to me that your current and past elected officials were conned into giving away millions of dollars of assets by some very sophisticated artists. The town acquires land at fair market value, then conveys it for residual land value, as we've already seen. So I'll leave the rest of this about there's no public benefit and people can go to his page. But the crux of the Newsday article is that RXR Realty is suing Renaissance Downtown, which makes us, leaves us to say, well, what's going on with all the development we didn't want to begin with? Is it stalled?
Exactly. And what about those 2 pieces of property?
Right.
I mean, I read so many comments on some of those obnoxious town pages that, it has nothing to do with Huntington. Yes, it does. Yes, it damn well does.
How doesn't it have anything to do with Huntington? They're building in Huntington.
Exactly. Everybody was saying, some of the people were saying, this is just Hempstead. It has nothing to do with Huntington.
No, they're getting some things confused there because they're also in federal court for, they violated some sort of political election laws by, I guess, it's common practice in some places that where they grease the local politicians and then boom, 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 development happens. So I don't know if that's what happens, but it seems that they're in court. And after that went to court is when all this hit the fan and they're all related, like they're family.
Mm-hmm. Do you know when that court date is?
No, but wouldn't it be great to go court watch? I know there's a couple of them. I know that we'll get to this one in a little bit, but LIPA, we have a lot of court stuff coming up. No wonder we need so many attorneys. Mediation for the LIPA is going to be the end of the summer, and the trial starts in December. I can look into, I guess if you give me a minute, I could find it because I know that I saved the thing from Nassau Court.
Well, if go look for that, and what I'll talk about is that hotel.
I will.
There was a La Quinta that was built. I want to say it was in Comac. It's in that little area where it's off of Wicks Road. Anyway, I was taking the children to get some supplies, and I recalled the La Quinta being built, and everybody was talking about this La Quinta. It was really in an odd place, so it's adjacent to like Pilgrim, and it's a little bit up next to the Suffolk community. I drove by there, I want to say maybe 2 weeks ago. It's now some kind of shelter. So my thought is, I don't know whose bright idea it was to think that a hotel would be good next to a railroad. That's number one. And number two, unless they planning to do a entire revitalization of that entire area, who exactly is going to stay there? You might get some commuters here and there, but once the word gets out of what goes on, especially in the summertime, who's going to stay there? Nobody wants to stay right there. The noise, the people. I mean, I've seen some unsavory characters going through going to the village, picking up my daughter who was home from college. And I said, never again. I told you have to get your own license or Uber, because I cannot deal with people in the street. I can't deal with people fighting. I can't deal with people urinating. So my question is, what would be the benefits of having a hotel right there?
Well, think about it. Remember we eagle watched and everything? The chalet, it's right there. It's a beautiful place, beautiful neighborhood.
There's no train.
Spencer lives over there. There's no train. You've got this beautiful view, and they're selling it. I don't know if you noticed that there's for sale signs, but obviously business isn't that great there. Also, do you remember when we went over by the mill pond, and
yes,
we were looking at the property that that is also, there's signs out there that is going to be developed also. So there's a lot of action going on. So we have a lot of things to cover coming up soon, not only with the elections.
Oh boy. Those good old elections.
So let me grab this real quick, because this was one that was sent to me while we're still on the subject real quick. It says, Nassau County Supreme Court RXR Fund 2 LI Downtowns Holding LLC versus Renaissance Downtown Investors LLC. This was filed on September 5th, 2018, file number 090518-N2 for all the law geeks who want to go look up the actual complaint. But the synopsis here is contract. Defendant allocated corporate funds to back the losing candidate in the 2017 Village of Hempstead mayoral race and denigrate the winner. It overextended the budget by making unauthorized payments to a legal firm and its workers $3 million. So that money didn't just go missing. They used it to back the guy who lost. It's almost like they're pissed that the guy lost. They would have been okay if they didn't overextend the budget if he had won, you know?
Oh, my God.
Oh, goodness.
For the life of me, I don't care how young I may be. I don't care how old I may get. I will never understand things like that. Like, do you think somebody's not going to find out that you backed them? Come on, especially in today's times. This is not the Kennedy family here. Like, Joe had enough money to make everybody be quiet. This is not that. This is not the Bushes. I mean, let's be honest here.
There's caps on what you can contribute.
And people are watching.
Yes.
Especially in a town like Hempstead, where the school district is kaput. Okay, so how wise are you to go into that? Well, actually, you probably thought nobody would ever look into it, so you probably were pretty wise. But how foolish can you be and then to say that you backed the candidate? What the heck?
I don't even know what to say.
If I was ever in the room, I'd be like, "You guys are not serious, right? Like, this is a joke. You're not gonna really do this, are you?" Oh, okay. I hope not. This is so dumb. I'm sorry. In today's time, there's no justification for that.
So he's got 10 years of answering for. 10 years.
And all the staff he's hired
all that money, all those favors. And what was Huntington Station left with? One building. One building. How many apartments are even taken in that building? And are there any retail businesses open for business in there yet?
Did you see any? I haven't seen any. I actually drove through there yesterday.
I think I saw a deli or something that they were putting in there, but I don't know if I would want to live above a place that has food service because, I mean, rats. mice,
Cucaracha.
la cucarachas, chinchillas, all that stuff. Those are the signs we see. So remember, I said we see the signs. That means if people are advertising to help get rid of the ratones, that means they're there. And honestly, I've seen them. So I'm not going to lie. I've seen them.
You seen what?
All sorts of critters.
First of all, you can't live in Huntington and say you haven't seen a rat. Because I was at CVS on Jericho Turnpike and I was picking up medication for my dad. And sure enough, we saw a little rat. I was like, oh, you guys have a rodent problem. The girl slammed the window in the drive-thru and was trying to talk through the glass. Miss, he don't have arms. He can't get up there. She was so scared. I was too, though. But I was like, she closed the glass on me. I was like, he can't get up here, miss. I'm just telling you, he's there.
Rolled up your in there and hung out. You could have taken him home.
That's what I was trying to remember.
You could have rolled up the bottom of your car and hung out. Got a ride home.
Crazy?
You rung a little bell in my brain when you said Hempstead, even though I know that the bell's always there. But do you remember the Newcastle scandal over there with housing?
I don't remember the Newcastle scandal.
There was a Newcastle. A lot of people went to jail. You don't remember that?
Newcastle in Westbury?
No, in Hempstead.
No, I don't remember that.
So it was it's weird that you don't remember that because Mark Cuthbertson was the attorney and there were several people. Our Mark Cuthbertson for the Town Huntington, he was the attorney on for the CDA, the Community Development Agency in Hempstead. And it was the Newcastle, and a ton of people went to jail for misappropriation of funds and all sorts of stuff. Of course, he didn't, but let me see.
Why didn't Mark go to jail?
Well, I don't think
just because he was the attorney doesn't mean that he had anything to do with it. He probably was trying to get people off. I don't know what his role was in it.
He did all the paperwork and stuff.
So you would have to figure out like what was his, did he know? Because if they're giving him information that he thinks is factual, you can't fault him for not knowing that it's not factual. I don't know anything about it. That's all I'm gonna say. So I'll leave that. And I thought you were talking about something in Westbury. So.
No, because we were talking about Hempstead with RXR and
I never heard of Newcastle though. That's why I've only heard of Newcastle and Westbury.
You know what I'll do? I'll put this up on our private page that we have for us so that you can see it later. Yes. And when I find it. And then at least you'll have the knowledge. So when the subject comes up again, because it's gonna, then we could be able to refer back to it as to what happened there.
Yeah, okay. That's good. I appreciate that.
No, of course, we don't want to cover anything that we don't have, we don't want to look silly all the time.
Lord.
Let's go to the town board meeting first.
Interesting.
And then we'll circle back to the primaries. Sound good?
Sounds great.
Did my videos go up earlier that I was trying to get? Yes, they did. Awesome. All right. I've been having sound issues. If there's anyone out there who absolutely loves our show, but they recognize that we do have sound issues, if you would love to contact me and help me resolve why, that would be great. I have a lot of talents. That is not one of them. Okay. So first thing I want to share is Reverend Artist. I love Reverend Artist.
Me too.
He's so good. Shout out to Reverend Artist if he's watching tonight. I hope he is.
Good. I'm gonna have to show it to him because I don't think he knows how to use it.
Okay. Well, he had a great speech here, so
he did.
Let's turn it up for him.
Good afternoon. I'm Reverend Jerry Artist. I'm the pastor of Love of Christ Fellowship Church. To the esteemed Town Board of Huntington and to all assembled here today, good afternoon and peace to you all. I am thankful for this opportunity to express myself to you and the people of Huntington. I don't have much time, so I direct my questions and thoughts to you, Mr. Supervisor. I need to know why, even though you committed to keeping the summer youth program intact, your team hired 50% less young people, robbing them of a chance to buy books for college and school clothes for high school, yet you hired your colleagues' children that are over the income threshold. You hired a retiring judge into the engineering department, helping his retirement plan, knowing he's not qualified, while demoting the current one without cause, since you allowed him to keep his full salary, wasting taxpayers' money. You hired a chief of staff, although you already have a deputy supervisor in charge of staff. What are your priorities? You refuse to hire high-ranking African Americans from the town of Huntington, even when they are highly qualified. I come as a pastor, a citizen, a taxpayer, a veteran, one who's deeply concerned about our towns and the direction in which it is heading, especially as it affects those of us who are consistently left out of opportunity afforded to others because of the wall. Mr. Lupinacci, despite many conversations with you, despite the many denials of unfairness, your actions scream loudly to your victims, yet you and those in accord with you have spent the vast majority of your time in office building the wall. This wall I'm speaking of is a mighty wall, whose height is tall, whose foundation is deep in broken promises, patriotism, lies and deceit. It is fortified with stones of indifference to the pain it is causing the most vulnerable citizens of this town by denying opportunity to so many qualified men and women, especially minorities. This wall is added to constantly with more stones of injustice, inequality making more formidable each day. But we on the outside are standing at this wall and we shall not go away. Each day I pray God will show you that this is the very wall that is plaguing our country and is counterfeit to everything America stands for. Huntington, let us set an example for the country, for the world, of how unity, love, and respect can be the light that will make a better day for the children. Therefore, I make the same plea today that a great Republican made 31 years ago. A Republican named Ronald Reagan to wall builders of his day, and fervently say to you, Mr. Lupinacci, tear this wall down.
I have to give him my little clap. I love him. He's very good.
I met them. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
A lot of people did not realize, but the Reverend Artist and I have been working quietly behind the scene since the administration took place. And we worked on several projects, and we really wanted to give the administration a chance to prove to us that we were wrong. A lot of people thought because we were too Black or African American individuals that we were focusing solely on people's race. And that wasn't it. That's why he didn't choose to go with his normal route, and I didn't go with my normal route, which would have been the NAACP. We were actually talking about the great income differences when we spoke about diversity, because that's what we're facing. Mm-hmm. And then as we went on, we started to notice other things, but that was our focus. And as we see, as he stated, we cut the children's programs as far as like the summer youth. They had 2 weeks to work. Yet you have a councilman that stood up there and made it no bones that yes, he did hire his pal's son at whatever, I think it was like $120K a year, but you can't authorize to go through with the summer youth program. And don't tell me you didn't have money, because you had $5,000 left from last year. Then it was also a grant from Bank of America, and you had county funding. And I don't want to hear about the unions and all that other stuff, because let's be honest, the few kids that got the job, you put them in recreational. So the only thing they were qualified to do was to bounce a ball. Yeah, we have a problem with that. So we've been working on a lot of things. And unfortunately, the sad part is if you go through the town hall meetings, he has come each time and he has not always been as passionate. But each time he's been let down. We had high hopes, and we sent many different organizations, and things, they were lied to.
Well, this was the meeting after the massive appointments of positions that they did. This was the meeting after, and he was rightfully upset. He really was. I mean, when his point with the kids that are struggling to buy, books to go to college, and you have the other end of it, they're not struggling at all. Their parents can handle it.
Nothing. And it's sad because these children, I think they had like 79 kids last year, and I think this year they had 20 kids. And the sad part, I think the most of the kids came from School District 13, and someone actually they didn't know that I was from School District 13. They had the audacity to say, well, I'm sure, School District 13 wouldn't feel that way. Yeah, we would, because most of us that are honest working people, we want everyone's kids to have a chance. We don't want our school to be singled out, and don't dare say because we held the program, we should get first dibs, because if you brought it to the parents, I guarantee you they would say, okay, give our kids a portion, but make sure everything else is getting done. It was really disgusting, and they only got 2 weeks worth of work. These kids, they depend on this for supplies, school clothes, books. What are you going to buy for 2 weeks?
Books are thousands of dollars.
Ridiculous. Ridiculous amounts.
And
ridiculous
that's the used
amounts.
Books. That's not even the new ones. That's the used books.
And then if you go, and Jenny, I know, Lisa, you're out of this because you don't have the small children, but Maverick is coming up, so you'll probably go through it again. But Jenny, you and I, we have kids. Blake's book bag, $56. Amiri's book bag, $80. Xavier's book bag, $120, and that was on sale.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I
waited.
This year, I said, no, you're using last year. Sorry. And I think Lily's on 2 years on her backpack. She ended up using last year. She used her dad won this bowling ball bag, and she liked that. So I was like, all right, one less bag. But food, Dana, food, the cost of living is, especially here on the island.
Yes.
So I mean, just to get to try, go food shopping. It's
disgusting. And you sit up there and you're proud that you hired your kid's son at $120,000, and then you make jokes because your chief of staff calls it a bloodbath he's cleaning up. I'm sure his kids don't need much of anything. So a little touch from reality, I would say so. I mean, these people are obnoxious to no end. And until it stops, we're going to keep going through this. So it's not all about race. It's not all about what people thought it was about. It was about income diversity and the lack of it. And now we're seeing the remnants of it.
Speaking of diversity, we got to circle back on that one with the primaries.
Oh, that's another hot topic.
I know, right? That went
Yeah.
down. No, I got to tell you, I was upset how it went down. I get it. I get it because, you can't deny there's a deep state. You come in, you have the change of guard from the Democrats to the Republicans. There's going to be some people that they want to get rid of because there's animosity there. Right. So I kind of understand that. But, you're a Republican. What about your children? Your children are Independence Party members. What about, did you go through the community? When we're starting to see this much nepotism, you cannot blame us for saying you're doing the same damn thing they were doing. All we did was change parties.
And that's what I'll be honest with you. I am a Republican. I do agree with a lot of Republican ways. I'll be very honest. But I wouldn't have much to say had they not rolled the campaign about the nepotism in their campaign. So you talked about that, yet you turned around and did the same thing. So here it is. That's past hypocritical, because what is that actually saying to us as a community? It wasn't okay for the Black female to do it, but it's okay for the all white males to do it.
Right.
Sorry, just doesn't add up. And this is not our grandparents where we're marching and we're sitting in. No, we're jotting off those letters to the Attorney General. And you best believe that Tish definitely has a number of letters from Huntington. We're preparing for her to win. So this will be on her case. This is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. So we wouldn't have so much to say had you not rolled that tail in your campaign. And then you have your buddies rolling around, you're taking pictures in the school, getting proclamations, your daughter's here. It's not the fact that you're doing it. It's the fact that you ran a campaign against it, and now you're putting it right in our face.
Right.
Like, haha, dummy, you voted for us, but we're still going to do it.
Right.
That's the problem.
And it's sad because I like the town attorney. I like the supervisor. I like most of the town board members. But it's coming down to, it's hypocritical. It's do as I say, not as I do. And how am I supposed to be supportive of you? How am I supposed to say, yeah, I really like the new direction when, you know, I mean, you killed yourself with your own campaign message because you're doing the same thing. And it's really, really disappointing. I mean, and we hear that. I think what happens is they get stuck in this political world where people are telling them that what they're doing is good because it's good for the people that's around them.
Right.
But they're not getting a feel for the people who are coming to the polls who are pissed off and seeing, you know, what's really how a lot of people, they know they see those numbers. A lot of people are watching these town board meetings.
And it's what it is with this is that I personally have the utmost respect for the town attorney. You have never and will never hear me say anything negative about him. I've watched him grow. I've been in this district almost 15 years and I've watched him grow. And he's never had a way about him. So I have a tremendous amount of respect for him because I think he's fair. He's head on. He doesn't get involved with all the other things.
I agree.
Where we have the issue is you go to a school and you take a picture with one person. And then it's like, forget that he's a town attorney. He is the president of the board of education.
And now you have that child that's getting the appearance of having special treatment. And that's not fair.
Right. So you're riding the bus with her. You're walking her in. You're taking pictures with the superintendent of the school, the board of education president, and the principal of the school.
I don't know
about you.
There's no self-awareness of the optics there. I don't think.
Even if that was the case, why blast it all over Facebook? Because I'm going to be honest with you, I didn't pay attention. I was coming in from like basically driving 24 hours a night to get back because I had to go to work, and from dropping off at New Hampshire and Utica. So I didn't know. I get these pictures in flooded and I'm like, who is this? So I'm looking and I'm like, oh, I know this is not what I think it is. And sure enough, so it gives the optics of, oh, we're not paying favoritism. And I was told that was his goddaughter. And I get it.
Oh, yeah.
But then you take it with all the other children. You walk in with a group of children. You take a picture with a group of children. You don't single out one child and then blast it all over Facebook.
Because then people will make the assumption that, you know, the old board had the reputation of selective enforcement. So if there's going to be if you're going to selectively choose one child because it's your best friend's child to promote yourself at the school, that's basically what it was. Because Dina, I got to tell you, I have so many people in my newsfeed. I don't catch everything.
Right.
That one was sent to me. They were like, "Did you see this?" And I was like, "No, I didn't," because, you know, I'm getting ready to get my own kids back to school. And then my mouth dropped because I was like, wow, it really was put out there that way. It wasn't me making an assumption. Other people were saying, "Did you see it?" And I went back and I got the same impression.
And it's sad, you know, it really is, because it gives the false impression of, I'm sure, of what he was trying to do. But when you have grandstanders as friends that put everything out on Facebook for everyone to see, what do you expect? The backlash. People, let me tell you something. You want to get parents riled up? Tell the parents that you have politics involved in the school, and you'll see a rally that you never seen before. Now, take my word on that, and you'll get all sides. I don't care what ethnic background you're from, what gender you're claiming. You'll get everyone into that because they hate that altogether. And it was really sad. It was really sad because I'm sure the pictures were not taken and for that meaning, but that's how it was portrayed.
Spirit that they were taken in, but that's the spirit it was received in. Yeah. And that's what I'm saying is I don't think that they were aware of the optics that was presenting of, you know, selectively choosing one child to be used as a promotional thing. Listen, our kids, we all go back to school. We all go back to school.
We do.
Day. We all want to be principal for the day, but we can't. And we all want to sit in the supervisor's office and
take pictures.
And we all want to get a proclamation and have the supervisor of the town of Huntington come to our birthday parties and give us a proclamation. I can't even get mine signed. I'm still bitter over that. But this is a new direction and a new board, so maybe I'll get one day. I don't know
Not unless you're in the in crowd, in which I don't think we are. But
Isn't
that,
that crazy?
it's always,
They give
So
out
it's something.
proclamations like Tic Tacs now. The ones that were deserved, though, there was, let's switch gears for a teeny bit before we rip them apart again. We had, who's the one young man?
There were quite a few they gave at the town board that were well deserved. A lot of paddle boarders, a lot of people, and I don't think people realize that they risked their lives to help these people. So those were well deserved.
Yes, and this guy, I think he's in my school district.
Yeah, I think he's in Huntington.
Yeah, he was so great. This one.
Yeah.
Town of Huntington honors Chaz Forte. Let me go right here. As a hero. Chaz Forte is a hero, literally. The Huntington High School junior helped save the life of a 41-year-old man who nearly drowned off Wincoma Point in Huntington Harbor. And I have to say, it's really worth going back and watching the town board meeting in the beginning. There were so many heroes on the
really
bay
were.
here.
Yeah, there really were.
Paddle boarder that saved those young ladies.
Yeah. I was just amazed because these people really, I don't think people understand how important these people are. They really risk their lives, without thinking. I don't know about you, but unless it's my kid, I don't know if I want to jump in the water, because if you can't swim and I can swim, you might drown me.
But see, that's the whole point. When we say that there's some heroes and they're getting a proclamation, that is the proper use of a proclamation. If I'm coming to your birthday.
That's not.
And just because you were born.
Yeah.
And you made it to 40 whatever. And you're getting a proclamation. It belittles the heroic acts.
Oh, that's a good point. That's a good point.
Who've done these amazing acts of valor.
I never thought about that. That is an excellent point.
Well, that's what bothered me when I started seeing, and I remember when I think I said it to you privately, I'm going to say it publicly now, they're giving these out like Tic Tacs. And when you do that, you water down the field, and now I don't think it means, you got one hanging on your wall. Maybe it doesn't mean as much because somebody got it for their birthday.
That's an excellent point. I never thought of that like that, but that is a really good point, and I'm sure other people feel the same way. It's sad, because those guys, I even had to stand up when they received their proclamation, because I was like, wow.
It was like 4 or 5. I couldn't. Yeah. It got to the point where I said, we need more people out on the water. Holy moly, everybody's drowning.
Yeah,
but nobody died. Nobody died.
No, thank God. Yes. They got everybody. So that was good. And those are the people that really deserve the proclamations, like you said. And they are taking away the value by giving them for meaningless things. Everybody, I hope, has a birthday if you're born. And, if you're 40, I'm sure you had enough birthday parties. You'll be all right. But that's another story. But yeah, it was really good. I was very proud of that young man, and to think he was just a junior. I always like those kind of stories because they're just little guys. I know they're juniors,
and what it takes to say, "Oh, I'm going to jump on my paddleboard and go save them," even though they can. It takes a lot of, it really does. Just act.
Because I'd be like, wait a minute, I have to wait a situation here.
That's a true hero.
Yeah, definitely.
Heroes.
I would give them that.
Okay, choice, primaries or town hall meeting? Because we got that one clip I wanted to do.
Well, we're still doing the town. We're still talking about the meeting, so you might as well start with that.
All right, let's go with baby mama drama.
Oh, wait, what?
I love this. Who's your baby mama?
I can't.
There's so many videos on here. And before we go into this, before I switch my screen, I just wanted to let everybody know that on Friday night, we have a special coming out. It's the Huntington Historical Society. We have, over the summer, put together a 2-part series on the Huntington Historical Society, and it's the Soldier and Sailors Museum and the Burial Grounds. And we will be putting one out this Friday and one out next Friday. So you want to keep an eye out for that. We worked really, really hard, and we were very blessed to be able to do all that there. You guys are really going to love how we bring history into your living room for you, your local history, the stuff they should be teaching you in school and they're not. So
it was really good. It was really informative. You'll be so intrigued with all the information and the rich history that we had, but you'll also be concerned because we're no longer preserving it. So
yeah.
it really is a must see. And the burial ground is just phenomenal because I had so many questions. I was tossing and turning last night.
I love the show that we put together in the 2-part series because honestly, usually we come together, we talk about whatever's going on during the week,
Yeah.
politics, or what moves us in the schools or whatnot. This was just about one subject, and we learned so much from it. So we hope other people do, and we hope you take the time to watch that. We'll be going Friday at 8 p.m. So just stay tuned to our Facebook page here. And hopefully you enjoy it as much as the time it took for us to make it. So, all right, ready? Baby mama drama.
362, authorize the supervisor to execute a requirements contract with Clear River Environmental Service Corp. for the catch basin and drainage structure cleaning services for bid items 1 through 7. Second. On the motion. Yeah. On the motion. The most important issue facing the town of Huntington today is the Northport Power Plant. I feel that the supervisor is not taking this lawsuit seriously. Based on his actions earlier today, I will be voting no for these resolutions to make a stand for Huntington's financial future and let the taxpayers know what's going on. I will continue to vote no for many other resolutions going forward to let the residents of the town of Huntington know how important we need a government that is led by a supervisor who takes this town's future seriously. As a town board member, not all decisions are easy, but the residents who count on us deserve our best and expect us to stand for what is right and for their town. Thank you. On the motion, I know you didn't mean to relate that. So this motion which deals with a bid requirement, but I would take exception to the idea that the supervisor or any other member of the town board isn't taking the Northport Power Plant litigation seriously. I think collectively we've spent hundreds of hours in discussions on this, and it is, if not the most pressing issue, one of the top 2 that we deal with constantly. So the fact that you disagree with an approach today that you suggested is fine, but the notion that the rest of us don't take this seriously, I think I'm in strong disagreement with that. Did you hear me say anything about you? No. Okay, so the fact of the matter is, Councilman,
Here we go.
that I believe this is a huge pressing issue. All of us today got a letter from the town attorney's office showing what could happen if this goes down in the worst case scenario. We need specials out there. And I even go as far to say that even in the mitigation that we have to go through, not mitigation, mediation, I apologize to you for that, is that we need specials in it, okay? And I have zero confidence in the people we are sending in there. Zero confidence. We have not discussed this. I've researched this to the end, okay? And I believe if there's any issues here and there's a settlement, I believe it goes right down squarely on the supervisor's shoulders because I believe we're not taking control of the situation. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to vote. Yeah, I would just respectfully disagree. I think, in the short time the supervisor's been here, he's brought himself up to see, probably made it his paramount issue, tried to reach a consensus with the rest of us. And I appreciate how much thought you've put into it, but the notion that you're positioning yourself, that you care more about this issue is just wrong in my eyes. Well, I need the people of Huntington to realize that there's some major issues. If it goes down bad, we're all going to be paying for it, and dearly. Thank you. On the motion, I'm going to, and I do believe that based on the length of the situation, I did speak about this in detail in executive session, that Republicans and Democrats are united front on this, and that to say that I don't spend many hours a day working on life situations, I'm going to be brewing for a year. And Councilman Cook, if you began your homework 8 years ago, maybe we wouldn't be in the situation we were now. We're pouring all our resources over into it. We wanted to eye one law firm from New York City that doesn't have the experience to do the law work, that even might be in a conflict of interest with the town of Huntington. And, and I think members of the board did have reservations of employing that law firm that would cost millions of dollars. So right now we're scheduled to go up to mediation, which is at the end of September. We are set to go to trial in December, and we continue to use all resources, including outside counsel, inside counsel, to fight for this. But to say that I don't care about it, that other members of the board don't care about it, that we don't know it's the most pressing issue facing the town of Huntington is ridiculous. I'm in constant contact with our state legislators. I'm in constant contact with our town attorney's office to make sure that we come to a point where we can actually win this and get this off our plate. But this is not something that's been brewing for the last 8 months. It's been brewing for the last 8 years. And you've been on the board much longer than I have. I wish you put in the effort and work years ago. What you're doing today, maybe we wouldn't be in a situation today. I would just want to pick up on one thing because I believe that law firm, Boies Schiller, has a whopping conflict of interest. A whopping conflict of interest. The face of that firm, David Boies, a renowned national lawyer, has signed the summons and complaint in a litigation involving this that makes allegations that are detrimental about the Northport Power Plant. And I think if that firm actually did a conflict check internally on whether they could even represent us, they would tell us ethically they could not. The fact of the matter is, today I did not put that resolution out. The supervisor did talk about it in executive session and then pulled it. That's fine. I think that this is the most important issue in the town of Huntington, and I think we are going to have major issues with it if it goes down poorly, and all the taxpayers are going to end up paying for it, which is absolutely ridiculous. This is a winnable lawsuit, and I've been fighting for it for months. I consider myself as close to an expert as I can on this, and the fact of the matter is that I feel like we're not being heard. Councilman Cook, you're talking about Resolution 399, which last week you approached me if I put it on the agenda. When we came to the workshop, I asked you to sponsor it. You didn't want to sponsor it, so I moved it to sponsor to move it into executive session so we could speak about it in regard to the LIFO litigation. And then when I felt that it wasn't the right thing to do at the present time, I did pull it and let the town attorney's office and the town clerk's office down. So I would be voting no on this and many other resolutions to let the residents of Huntington know there's a huge issue out here and we all need to stand up and be heard. And, if the homework is that you want us to hire a law firm that has a whopping conflict of interest that charges $1,400 an hour anyway, I'm not sure that you're trying to do a law firm. Sure, I don't have a problem hiring this law firm or any other law firm as long as we hire good representation for the people of the town of Huntington. That's simple. I have to say that as an elected official, there's sometimes compromises or votes we have to make that we might always agree with. But I would never, have one vote affect another vote in terms of, representing the people of Huntington. So, and let us know that all 5 board members are working very hard on the LIFO litigation, continue to work to make sure that we beat Western. And we know how detrimental the case has. It's one of the black clouds that is hanging over Huntington.
Agreed on the motion. We need a reasonable, viable solution that we can all agree upon. And I think we're all listening. Our ears are wide open, eyes are wide open. We're well aware of the perils. And I'm willing to sit down and listen to everything that you've brought to me, Councilman Cook. And I'm waiting for something that I think has been.
And as mentioned today also, we are, in conversations with even the professor down at Georgetown University has some expertise that we might not be aware of or institutional knowledge in terms of power plants. So we're trying to use all resources in this fund. Just to tell you a little bit about the Boies Law Firm. As you know, I'm a Republican. If David Boies was successful, Al Gore would have been president today. Just to let you know, in the U.S. Supreme Court case, because he represented the law firm. If you want to know the track record of the law firm. And that seems to be very important. Can we call the vote, please?
Oh. Boom.
Sponsored by Councilman Cuthbertson, seconded by Councilman Smith. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed?
Opposed.
Resolution is adopted 4 ayes, 1 no. The no is Councilman Cook.
Wow.
So much to unpack there and set out on the table. Do you even know where to begin?
I will start because I am often a critic of the new direction. But I must say, this was the first time that I felt like the supervisor took a stand. And he didn't take a meek stand, like, he took a hard stand. And he made a good point. He said, listen, we have to make deals, that we have to make decisions that, don't always agree with everyone. And that's just the part of being that's the part of being a politician. But had you done your homework, maybe we wouldn't be in this position. I was like, ew. So he stood up and he stood strong. I have to give him that, because up until now, and if you were in that room, he spoke with such conviction that I had to, I'm always jotting down notes to remember. And I had to look up, like, what is that? Is that the supervisor talking? It sure was. So I was very surprised. I was actually like, okay, well, he stood up for something. And you don't say that he's not taking it seriously. The next thing that I'll talk about was, Councilman Cook's behavior after. It was very...
to everything else after that.
It was like a temper tantrum. And you actually had people that were walking out, because I was actually on the end. And somebody, and I'll tell you off the air, who he goes to be, this guy's a wackadoodle, I'm out of here. And he left.
Oh, no, I know. You already told me.
I could not stop. I usually keep a straight face. I could not stop laughing after that. That showed poor sportsmanship. And if you really care about the town of Huntington, that's not the way to display it. And if you notice on Jericho Turnpike, go look at, like, when you're going past LA Fitness, it says, thank you, Eugene Cook. I couldn't see what it was for, but I don't know. But these red signs on the pole that says, thank you, Eugene Cook, but I'm not sure what they're thanking him for. I'm assuming it was for, I don't know. But his behavior was less than savory. That was my take on it.
Lisa.
Well, I just have one question that I'll just throw out there, because I'm not really sure about this whole LIPA thing.
No. You know who he is. Go ahead.
When Chad had said to Jean, if you did your homework, maybe we wouldn't be in this position. But I just have a question. It's not an accusation. It's not even an argument. But maybe if a certain particular councilman that's been there forever,
I knew that was going to come out,
didn't hire his best friend,
y'all have to get past that.
So I got to tell you,
we wouldn't be in this position either.
I'm not a fan of Mark's, but this was a disagreement.
I didn't say Mark.
Clearly. Oh,
He's
I know it was, because the only person who's been there longer is Mark. He's the only one who's been there the long. I mean, this is, it's just all I got to, it's the process of elimination here, Lisa. All right, so it's Mark, but this was not a dispute between Mark, even though he has and should have. I agree with that. But this started with Jean coming in and saying, I'm voting no to everything, and I'm having this discussion on an item number that doesn't even have anything to do with what we're discussing, because I want to let it be known I'm voting no for the rest of the night on everything. And he called out Chad specifically. So that's why it became a situation between those two.
Exactly.
Oh, I understand that.
Yeah.
And it was disrespectful.
Why everyone's in this predicament, with the LIPA situation, not about their little,
And if you go back and you listen, the supervisor did mention that there are other members on the board, and I'm sure, because it would only be Mark that was also there. But Mark didn't open his mouth and start stepping around, so I'm sure that's why he didn't call him out.
Here's what I do understand about the tension, however, is what was said by Jean.
It was uncalled for.
No, we missed a part because we got caught up in the drama between the fighting and the this, that. We received today a letter from the town attorney about the potential effects. What I heard coming from him is fear over willing to throw it all away. Because we've never seen him do that before. Have you? What was in that letter that got him so riled up that he chose to go that route?
Right. Well, how badly are we going to be harmed?
How bad is it that they're not telling us?
How badly are we going to be harmed by what might or might not happen?
I've seen him react that way when they decided not to go with the $1,400 an hour.
But it's the same subject matter. And now something came today.
But what came?
Today.
Are you still angry because they gave you a definite no? I was in the room and I saw what was going on and I heard that. But when you behave that way, I don't care what you said, that goes out the door because you're acting like a 2-year-old. Yeah. My 7-year-old shows more constraint than that. And I don't know about you or Lisa, but if you're going to represent me, you need to have a better attitude than that. Yeah. I need you to be able to contain your composure, at least in public.
Yeah.
At least. At best. I mean, what you do behind executive session is your business. But if I see you have a full-blown temper tantrum and then just vote no, something's not right.
It was like his Spartacus moment. And I hate saying that about him. But
it was just crazy. And if you were in the room, you would feel
it got tense, right?
Right. And it wasn't, people weren't rallying behind him. They were like, what's wrong with him?
Like, where's this coming from? It's not like him. And I think that's why people reacted that way and it got uncomfortable. We received today a letter from the town attorney of the potential effects. I want to see what's in that letter.
I want to know what the effects are.
And unfortunately, we only have 2 minutes left.
Oh,
are you kidding? We didn't even get to the part about the primaries. Aren't you guys glad we're coming back next Wednesday?
I don't know. I might have to take a little break because I can see this is going to be heated during this election season between some of us on this panel right here.
This is good.
Right now, it's going to be a heated election because, I mean, I don't know. We have to discuss that in our executive session.
I'm not going to be arguing with anybody. I'm just going to keep wearing my red shirts. I'm not arguing with anybody.
My non-favored person is not running. As far as I'm concerned, it's a free-for-all this year. I'm having a good time. I'm having a good time this year. I'm going to be
a good show, though. It was definitely a good show, ladies.
Well, it's good to be back.
What?
I guess we go to that part of final thoughts, even though I really wanted to go to what's in the mail today because they've already started coming and we just don't even have time. But we'll
get anything.
Well, they've heard, you know. What I was really happy to hear that Steve Stern, who's not running at all.
Isn't he? I heard he's running.
Is he? Well, whether he's running
up because he did the special election. So I think he's running for
is he?
Assembly. I think so.
We have to find out. But I was just so excited that his office provides free notary services. I think that's really good to know. And I wish that all of our elected offices would do that. I think that's a really, because I have to go to the bank or pay.
That's a good idea.
You know what thing I would like to cover before we get cut off? Not before we get cut off. I would like to know why the Assembly's office was moved from the area it was in to where it's currently standing now.
Which one?
The where Steve Stern's office is. Before he became the supervisor, the assemblyman who we had, Lupinacci, he changed it from where I think it was
right. It used to be down in the middle of Huntington Station.
Right, and now they changed it closer to the village. I think we should do a story on why that happened.
Where the village artist was when they built that building. That was the building that Thad was supposed to move into.
Right.
And never did. There was a lot that happened with that building. It was really weird. We need to get back into foiling stuff. I foiled some stuff this summer, so I'm not rusty anymore. Let's have that. I want that letter. I want that letter from the town attorney with the potential effects. So on that note.
Yes.
We will see everyone next Wednesday, and we hope everyone enjoyed tonight's Huntington View. Have a good evening, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.